Hello everybody, my name is Thunder Autos, and yesterday I was lucky enough to get coverage of the Bentley and Maserati supercar event. It was a really fun event with a lot of cool cars, which we'll see now, and which we've just started. So, in the front room there, that's just a general coverage. There's more to the left and right of that. It's one whole room, but it's very long, and you don't really see enough on the stairway. We got a lot of participants. I wouldn't really call them participants, but a lot of visitors there, so there's some of my ladies. Alright, first up, the Bentley. This is probably owned by the boss, I believe, but there was just a simple boss T. There's another Maserati of sorts, I'm not sure, Levante, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, first car, Aston Martin Vanquish, I'm pretty sure that's what you call it, and then Mercedes GTR, we'll get back to that later. Then there's this Audi R8 with the number plate I Love Sai. This is a pretty cool custom. The wrap itself was very nice. There's the crew little icon if you want to go see what that's about. There were lots of people taking photos in there. I Love Sai, I'm not necessarily sure what that's about, but yeah. Anyway, Lamborghini Huracan Performante. There was a weird sticker on it with the 2016 Giro. I'm not sure what that's about. I think that was like a club or anything. One of the Aventador is right there, and then we get to a Huracan Performante Spider. I've only seen a couple of these in real life, but this is a pretty cool car. It had a really cool, what do you call it, trim? It was pretty nice. Then we get to the second Aventador. Very interesting green colour. I know a lot of that was used on the Gallardo and Murcielago, but yeah, I'm not sure about it being on the Aventadors. I think the Aventadors suit much better in orange. We'll get back to the Urus later, but there's a little bit of the red trim for the Huracan. Yeah, as you can see, lots of people taking photos there. We got one of the organisers' kids there, and then we just got a bunch of people standing in the middle. Anyway, video photographer, I think he was CD in Cool Car, something like that. Anyway, Fryer 458, I don't think it was a custom, it was just there. Anyway, Una Vita. Fun fact, that number plate translates into Italian, one life. Very interesting number plate. Anyway, 458, pretty standard, not really anything interesting about that one. Yeah, book standard. GTR, that's just another thing to say. GTR, if you weren't already impressed by GTR. GP8, probably wondering what he got as his GP after high school. McLaren 650, not right sure what it is. It might be a 650 LT or something like that. Custom wheels, I'm not sure what to think of those. I don't really like that. Underdog number plate, or Underdog. It was a little silly, but then we get to probably my favorite car of the day, the Ferrari F430. This is a very obtainable car, and I like this a lot. It doesn't come in manual, which kind of sucks, but you know it gets better. Anyway, we now get a shot of the Ferrari logo, and a very interesting thing about as you can see there, the mirrors on that side. Nothing special. Why did I take a video of that? And then on the other side, we get the F for the 30 logo. I thought that was a very cool little detail on the F430 there. Back to the Vanquish for a little. Back to the GTR. Nice yellow calipers, I just noticed. Anyway, a little bit of finger there. Una Vita, again, this is another Bentley. I think this is just a individual owner, nothing special. This is one of the new Continental GTs that were just introduced. So, yeah, now that I've seen them now, anyway. Sweet. We get into the McLaren with this incredible yellow trim. It actually had the trim on the inside as well. I'm not sure if you can see that little thing of me. Sends onto the wing. Very cool. I probably should have gotten something else, but little gift to the internals there if you haven't seen it already. Back to the little Bentley, back to the McLaren, back to the Una Vita Ferrari, back to the regular 458. Probably got something special about it. I don't know. It was tinted, but that's all I could see. Finger. V8, naturally aspirated, I'm pretty sure. I know you can really see from the videos there. I liked it in white, but probably not as much as I would have liked it in red. Back to the Huracan there. Lamborghini, they probably should have put like a Huracan thing. I would have liked that. The exhaust, I like those exhausts. They were really cool. I wish I could have gotten a little more of that. Anyway, back to the silver Aventador S. It looks, it was pretty good on the day, and the red interior was rather nice, but it wasn't that special, to be honest. Anyway, on to the Lamborghini Urus now. Right now, we're just getting a little shot of the informational board, I guess you could say, of it. So, engine 4-litre V8 twin turbo, pretty automatic gearbox, pretty cool. since we made it possible. Although, to be fair, no one asked. That was a little shot of the outside there, if you can recognise where that is. Anyway, there were a lot of kids at the event, a lot of kids going, Daddy, Daddy, I want this car, and then being sourly disappointed for when they need to buy their next Toyota Camry. Anyway, back on the Vantage, or Vanquish, I'm pretty sure it was. I'm not entirely sure. I think it was like a Vanquish. Vanquish, anyway, onto the Levante and the poor attempts to advertise that. Anyway, now, these were owned by Sohan. He is the man who organised the event. There is one of his cars. I don't know the model of that one in particular, but it was very nice. The Divine number plate was particularly nice. He was lucky to get that one. Not sure, that looks like a 1960, 1970 car. Anyway, and then here was his new comparison car, Power 1, I think that was supposed to say. I don't know. Same colour though, he looked very nice. There's the modern interior, and there's the automatic gearbox. Yeah, I don't really like this one. I like the older one, but it's not very cool. Back to the Levante. Poor marketing attempt. Look, you can haul a boat, although I'm pretty sure if you owned a Levante, you would own a much bigger boat than that. Onto the merchandise shop. There wasn't really anything good for the merchandise shop. Not many people are into... I wouldn't say not many people are into Maserati, but not many people are, interested in Maserati Autosport. Now onto the very interesting... what would you call these? The stands of the car. Looking at the air suspension, and I'm not quite sure what the fluid for that is. Wheels, something else there. Anyway, onto the exhaust. Very nice exhaust, and then we just get a general overview of the entire car. Not quite sure what I was trying to do with that there. Anyway, now onto the envy of all garage owners. I'm pretty sure if you own a garage, you would want these. This was a proper setup, and I have to say I loved it. I'm pretty sure everyone saw there was envious of that. Win a line. Yep, even those computers have screensavers. Onto the other stuff now. These hold various tools. Although everything's electronics these days, so they're probably ECU readers or something like that. And it just keeps going. Now this part was just a little. It was part of the customers' cars. There was nothing special about them. They weren't a part of the show. They were just there for the customers. It was just more Bentleys being worked on. This was one of the informational boards given to us or shown by us. There's a little bit more information there. The reason I didn't show as much as the Urus is I don't think many people are really interested in the Urus now. I'm pretty sure the quality's pretty poop. I filmed this on a Sony Xperia, so you can try and rate that, but I wouldn't recommend it. Alright, on to the next thing, Bentley and Motorsport. These were just some of the regular cars. Not much interesting to them. They were waiting to get repaired or already repaired and about to be returned. You can see here another car being worked on at the moment. Now, an interesting thing about these, I'm not sure whether or not this is for like all manufacturers, but when they're working on the front, they have this interesting little net thing. I'm not quite sure whether or not that's used for all automakers or not, but that happens. Anyway, another look at the motorsport division. My hand was really hurting when I took this, so sorry if it's a little too quick. I just needed my hand to get out of the numbness. There's Sohan right there, seeing what he can get with all of this. The food was pretty good. I did like most of the pastries. They were very nice. The lemon meringues, the cream on them was a little funny, but the lemon itself was very lemony, to say the least. It was very flavorful. There was the coffee person that was serving us. Yeah, there's not really much left of this video. The Malibu boat, there's nothing much. Anyway, fun day in total. Very nice. I got to see a lot of very cool cars that I wouldn't usually see. There was also a lot of stuff upstairs, but I didn't want to get the photos or videos for that because, it wasn't that interesting. And also after this, the camera actually burnt out or just got too hot. Anyway, there's the other photos of not really photos, but concepts of the other Bentley dealers. And this is where the camera decided to go. So, see you people later.